The government says it's being transparent and forthright with Canadians. And today that meant admitting that one of its main campaign promises will cost more than originally planned. The finance minister said a major tax cut for most Canadians will happen, but for an unexpected price. What's more, at least one other campaign pledge may end up on the cutting room floor. Senior correspondent Terry Milewski has the details. Terry?
Well, Diana, the Liberals are keeping their promise to cut taxes for the middle class, but the cost is way higher than they promised. And that means that another promise to keep the deficit under $10 billion is in big trouble. So the opposition is saying, gotcha.
We're leaving these commitments in the dust. So my question for the Minister of Finance is, how much will these broken promises cost Canadians?
Good question. The question was not answered in the House.
We recognize that the economy is slowing.
The finance minister may be a rookie, but he knew to change the subject to the promise that he is keeping.
We are starting today with middle-class tax breaks, a key part of our initiative.
That was the story he wanted to tell, and soon he was telling it again.
This middle-class tax cut will benefit about 9 million Canadians each year.
The problem is the cost of that cut. Lowering taxes on incomes between about $45,000 and $90,000 will cost the government $3.4 billion a year. That was supposed to be offset by higher taxes on incomes over $200,000. But it turns out the gain from that will only be $2 billion. So the budget goes deeper into the red, although the minister still says he will balance it in the end.
We also promised that we would get to a balanced budget situation during the course of our mandate. We intend on keeping that commitment.
But taxing the rich, it seems, won't help much because, this economist says, the rich are pretty good at avoiding taxes.
People arrange their affairs so that to pay a little bit less tax, they would move income around to the corporate side instead of the personal side, or they will move in another country.
Then there's the problem with folks on the other end of the scale. The NDP says most people don't make enough to qualify for the tax cut.
When people hear about the middle class, they feel that they are part of the middle class. If you're making $35,000 or $40,000 a year, you can argue that you're part of the middle class. Those people will get nothing.
As for the Liberal pledge to keep the deficit under $10 billion a year, the finance minister was asked repeatedly to say if he's still committed to that, and he repeatedly declined to say yes. So it looks like the opposition will have plenty to chew on, Diana.
Thanks, Terry. Terry Milewski in Ottawa.